Have you ever wondered why it's so hard to stay motivated? It's a question that plagues many of us, and it's not just a matter of willpower or determination. The struggle to maintain motivation is a universal one, deeply rooted in the complexity of human psychology. Our brains, intricate and multifaceted as they are, aren't always wired to sustain the fire of motivation. We are creatures of comfort and routine, and it's often easier to stick to what we know than to push ourselves beyond our comfort zones. This can lead to periods of high motivation, followed by a lull, creating a fluctuating cycle that can be difficult to break. Today we're going to delve into this fascinating subject, exploring why our motivation ebbs and flows and how we can harness this understanding to fuel our productivity. So if you've ever struggled with motivation, you're not alone, and there's a reason for it. What if I told you that your brain is playing a significant role in your motivation or lack thereof? Well, believe it or not, it's true. The science of motivation is deeply rooted in the complex workings of our brains, specifically involving a neurotransmitter known as dopamine. Now, dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good chemical for a reason. When we achieve a goal, our brains reward us by releasing this dopamine, leading to feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. It's a bit like receiving a pat on the back from your own brain. But here's where things get tricky. You see, much like a child who's just tasted their first sweet treat, our brains can start to crave this dopamine hit. And the more we achieve, the more dopamine we want. This can lead to a cycle where we need to achieve more and more just to feel that same level of satisfaction. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, really. On one hand, it drives us to reach greater heights. But on the other, it can leave us feeling perpetually unsatisfied. And it's not just about reaching goals. Our motivation and the dopamine that fuels it can be influenced by numerous external factors. Stress, for instance, can throw a spanner in the works. When we're stressed, our brains are focused on survival, not motivation, and then there's lack of sleep. Anyone who's pulled an all-nighter knows it's not exactly a recipe for productivity. That's because sleep deprivation can significantly dampen our dopamine levels, leaving us feeling lethargic and unmotivated. But it's not all doom and gloom. Understanding the science behind motivation can empower us to take control. By managing stress, ensuring we get enough sleep, and maintaining a healthy balance in our goal setting, we can harness the power of dopamine to our advantage without falling into the trap of constant dissatisfaction. So it turns out our brains are both the heroes and villains when it comes to motivation. Now that we know the science behind motivation, how can we use this knowledge to our advantage? Harnessing motivation for productivity begins with breaking grand ambitions down into smaller, more palatable tasks. Imagine you're standing at the base of a towering mountain, daunting in its height. Rather than focusing on the peak, concentrate on the immediate path ahead. Each step taken is a victory, and this approach allows for a continuous stream of achievements that fuel your motivation. Next, let's talk about positive reinforcement. Celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small. Reward yourself with a cup of your favorite beverage, a short break, or even a pat on the back. Your brain loves rewards and will start associating tasks with positive outcomes, thereby enhancing your motivation. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Proper nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate sleep are not luxuries but necessities for your brain to function optimally. When your brain is in top condition, it's easier to stay motivated and productive. Lastly, it's essential to understand our brain's role in motivation. Our brains are not limitless machines. They tire, they need rest, and they can burn out. By understanding this, we can manage our expectations, pace ourselves, and avoid burnout, turning the seemingly endless marathon of tasks into a series of sprints. Remember, understanding your brain is the first step to mastering your motivation. So why is it so hard to stay motivated? In this exploration, we have delved into the brain's role in motivation, how external factors can influence our drive, and why managing expectations is key. We've also discussed practical strategies to boost motivation, underscoring the importance of working smarter, not harder. Staying motivated isn't always easy, but understanding why can make the journey a lot smoother. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep pushing forward even when the going gets tough.